Hello, man. Go your own way. Go your own way, man. Hello, man. How are you doing today? I just felt the need to talk about this migrant caravan here for a second because it seems so ridiculous to me. Let me do some screenshots here so you know what I'm talking about. This will be a really short video. So let me get share an infinity screen. Infinity screen. Infinity screen. Okay, there we go. You look through the news today, you see we're just inundated with migrant caravans, 7,000 people in Mexico heading towards the U.S. Migrant caravan traveling towards U.S. national emergency, they're going to call migrant caravan, time for military intervention. Boy, these are, Fox wants military intervention on this stuff. Migrant caravan vows to send troops. Trump vows to send troops. There's this migrant caravan coming towards us. All these, there's like 30,000, 40,000 stories in the last few days. It's all pretty much hyperbolic. Let me show you something here. For people that don't know about this, and the stupidest thing that I've heard so far was the migrant caravan was going to get here before at the midterm elections, and it was something to do with the midterm elections. Here's a map for stupid people. Now, let me get my little thing out here. I'll do my pen here, and yeah, let's use black right there. There's where they're at, right there. Right there. They're not even in Chiapas, right there. It took from right there to right there. They're right there now. Right there. Let's shorten that up. And this is a 200-mile. This is a 100-mile map here. The distance of 1 inch. So that's about 100 miles there that they've traveled. They've traveled from this point to this point right there. In 14 days. It took them 14 days. They got stopped right at that big red point. That's the Mexican border. And then there's 3 days from there. So it took them 14 days, 17 days to get hit there. Now, let me explain you something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you got a choice of highways when you come. You can come up through Nuevo Leon, or you can go up through the Cajahula up here, or you can go up through here. You have choice of 3 routes you can go. This is probably the most, this will probably be the used route here because it goes right down all the way back to here, which would cut it down to about 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600-mile walk. Let me explain something to you guys. This took almost 17 days from here to here. From this point to this point took 17 days. So 17 days. So it's going to take about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's about 3.5 months. It'll take about 73 days for them to walk from here all the way up to here. Let's change the color there so we can do this. Okay, we'll get red here, and these red marks here are about 100 miles, and it's going to take them. But they got to walk a highway, so they got to go like this. And then it's going to go like this. It's going to go like this. It's going to go like this. You see how that works, guys? Oops, got to go over here and it come up because there's the national highways in yellow. And then it's go. So that's about a 1,000-mile walk. They might be here by the end of February sometime. And the last migrant caravan that came through was in April. I don't know how long it took them, but they got here around April 13th, and it wasn't as far as this. And that might be on the same time schedule too. They get here by April. The midterms are let me see. It's the 22nd. Yeah, it's 28 days, 8 plus 15 days. It's 15 days away. 15 days. So the 8th, yeah, 7th, 8th, yeah. So unless you're like me and you already voted, so they might be able to reach in 15 days, right about there. Yeah, before the midterms. And we're going to start sending the military. Let me get up here. We're going to start sending the military from old Texas, right there, Texas. And we're going to just cut them off right over here. What a bunch of morons. It's not going to be here by the midterms. It's not going to be here. It's a political thing, and there's been a lot of rumors about what's going on. Let me put my pretty face back up here so you guys can see me and everything. And yeah. So this migrant, hello, Chewy. This migrant crisis that's coming at us is going to get here by somewhere after February if they keep walking. A military march, I know about military march. Military marches generally, back in the days, took about 13 miles a day. For any large group to march, you're going to get about 13 miles a day. And if you figure out the distance and the roads that they have to go, and they got to go through some mountains and shit and around these places and up, it's going to take, unless they get, start hitchhiking, they can start hitchhiking up this way, then they can get here a little faster, but they ain't going to get here. And if they do get here by the midterm elections, I would start asking some question about how they got here and everything, and there would be an investigation. The size of it is they show a lot of people joining it, and they showed like a picture of like 100,000 yesterday, but it was highly inflated and everything, and it's about 5,000 people. Now the last one that started off at 2,000 people, and they ended up with 200 people by the time they got to the actual border. 200 people. And this migrant crisis, or this migrant march towards the United States border, is no bigger than the last one. And that was in April. And they ended up with 200 people, and they were detained, and it was an easy job. Just sweep it up. The people, 200 people that haven't eaten in 5 months is not a real hard thing to sweep up. You give them some food, some care packages, you ask them with some humanitarian relief, and you say, good job. You just walked through Mexico. I'm really freaking impressed. And if they do get here, maybe I'll bring one over to my house. A couple of them. I got a couple extra rooms there, because I'm really impressed. If you walked all the way through Mexico, I'd be really, really hugely impressed. And I think someone should write me a letter about that if they do it, that harrowing story about that. But that's all I wanted to talk about, is the moronic, hyperbolic, or it's just moronic hyperbole from the press, and this Trumpism, and the Fox News and ABC and all these. I mean, it's moronic hyperbole is what they're giving out. This is not going to happen. If it does happen, they'd probably put them on the planes and ship them up here then. Not going to happen. I was watching some guy, and it was on some podcast. He was a really popular podcaster from the alt-right or something. I was just looking, and he says, well, they might be here about the midterm elections. And I was like, what are you, an idiot? But for the people that think that's going to happen, and it's just a hyper sensationalized yellow journalism that's been it's just total hyperbole, and none of that stuff is going to happen. And I wish they would diffuse it, because it's starting to really irritate me, and it's starting to look really, really, really stupid. Anybody that would believe that stuff is just really, really an idiot. And that's why migrant crisis for political idiots, in case somebody lingers by this way and is filled with really crazy thoughts that this migrant caravan was going to march up here in less than 10 days. You're an idiot. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to do a quick video on that, share my opinion. I couldn't sleep without just saying something. And you guys have a great day, and thanks a lot. And just keep on being what you are. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, guys. See ya.